Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Frank Red. Right now, you're locked in the dungeon YouTube version of this particular show, and this is a historic event. This is the first time the In the Dungeon program is broadcasting on YouTube. We've had a nice run on terrestrial radio, but we are transitioning, and once again, we are available for all of the In the Dungeon show supporters out there. My name is Frank Red, if you did not know, and we're gonna start off like that fire, that campfire that starts off with a slow build, and then before you know it, you look at it, you're like, wow, man, this flame's burning. We're feeling good. Everything is flowing. That's how this particular sports program is going to do. We're going to start off slow, and we're going to continually build it, and we'll go wherever the listeners want us to go. As I said, my name is Frank Red, and today's show, actually, we're just going to do a rundown of some topics that's in the sports landscape. Eventually, you will have an opportunity to interact with myself and the other listeners by using the chat component, where you can put your thoughts out there, and I will respond to you. And yes, okay. So we're going to start off with the NBA. The Golden State Warriors have lost 7 of 9 games, and it might be alarming to some fans, but they're actually not playing bad basketball, and that has coincided with a tough part of their schedule, and they also don't have Draymond Green. But when you look at some of the players on the team, Steph Curry, in his 13th year, is probably playing as well as he ever has. Jordan Poole is also showing a resurgence. He was hot early in the season, and he is kind of slumped the past, I'm going to say 10, 15 games. But the last 3 or 4 games, he looks like his old self, which should pay dividends as the Warriors get ready for the playoffs. Obviously, having Klay Thompson back is a godsend for the Warriors. He's not quite where he is. He's still trying to find his groove. But just to see him on the court is certainly a great thing. And we assume at some point in the not too distant future that Draymond Green is going to come back and into the Warriors lineup. And that's going to help them not only on offense, but certainly on defense. So Warrior fans out there, that's why you go out and you win, 40 games before the All-Star break. Because if you have a soft patch, you still have some room to work with. Currently, they are the number 3 seed, and Memphis is right on their heels. But I think the Warriors will be fine. Yeah, the Golden State Warriors. Absolutely. Yeah, there are a lot of Warrior fans out there. So if you want to talk about the Warriors, Sacramento Kings, I'm a Knicks fan, by the way. I don't know if we have anything to talk about. But, I mean, the NBA in general is really on fire. And I think that because the NFL is so popular, when the Super Bowl ends, there's kind of a collective letdown. And I think the networks have a little trepidation with regards to whether or not people will tune in to sports on a large scale. Well, I mean, the NBA is actually giving people reasons to turn in, because the level of play, not only locally where some of the top teams are playing, but I think league-wide, the level of basketball being played is very, very high. So if you want to talk about that, feel free. Just today, I mean, Jason Tatum had 54 points. LeBron James, en route to a victory over the Golden State Warriors, had 56 points at age 37. Are you kidding me right now? I've never seen anybody, even Tom Brady at 44, 45 years old, as well as he's playing. I think that LeBron at 37 playing at the level that he's playing with exceeds Brady to me, even though Brady won the Super Bowl last year. There's never been a player in the history of basketball to sustain the level of play that LeBron James is displaying right now. So if you want to talk about that, even though the Lakers are pretty horrible right now, and people talk to Anthony Davis being injured, that's one of the issues. but they have accountability issues, but I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the Lakers. You can if you are a fan. Major League Baseball is in a lockout. They don't realize that people really don't care. I mean, casual sports fans are not tripping off the fact that we're missing spring training games. I think baseball fans do care. I'm a casual baseball fan. I like baseball. I played it as a teenager, catcher, first base. So I get it. I understand why people love baseball. But when you consider everything that's going on in the world, you consider that there are other sports out there competing for the dollars of the fans, I think baseball needs to get their act together. All right. A real serious topic related to sports that intersects with politics is Brittany Griner, the WNBA champion, former Baylor Bear standout, Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame player, usually plays in Russia when she's not playing in the WNBA. And when she tried to come home, she actually was detained by Russian officials, allegedly for trying to carry on, I guess, hashish oil. I'm not too familiar with it. I'm kind of a nerd if you didn't know. But this is serious because when you think about the political ramifications between the United States, Russia, and Ukraine, you never know what the objective was or are from Russia's perspective with regards to Brittany Griner. I did hear that if this thing escalates to the point where she actually had to go to trial, she could be, if she was convicted, she could spend 10 to 15 years in prison, which seems unfathomable to me. So let's hope that the United States and Russia can negotiate a peaceful return for Brittany back to the United States. And I'm going to end this show by talking about the Batman. Batman came out on Friday, and I was a big Chris Nolan and Christian Bale fan. I didn't think anybody could do better than Christian Bale. Well, I have to say that what's it, Robert Pattinson? He did his thing, man, and just to see a new vision of Batman manifested through the eyes of somebody new is spectacular. And it just kind of shows you the level of creativity that's out there. And you start thinking about the possibilities that can happen when you don't put any limitations on yourself or your creativity. This Batman movie, I think rivals any of the Batman movies that have been made. It was a different iteration, but equally unique and fascinating and interesting and engaging in its own way. So definitely check it out if you are a movie fan, or if you had any hesitation about whether or not this Batman movie was going to live up to what people thought that it could be. In my view, it has, and I got to give props to the director, Robert Pattinson. Zoe Kravitz, I thought was an interesting cast, but she proved that she was the right person. I thought she was absolutely excellent. And I think it's going to open some more doors for her as she starts to evolve on, I think, a worldwide scale at this point, playing Batman's counterpart, not his enemy, kind of his co-partner, if you will. But Zoe Kravitz definitely did her thing. And when you kind of think about Lisa Bonet being her mom, Lenny Kravitz being her dad, talk about potential pressure. And it doesn't seem like this young lady, felt it at all. It was almost like, yeah, those are my parents. They're pretty cool, but check me out. And she really did her thing. So I'm happy to see that. Once again, my name is Frank Red. This is In the Dungeon program. When I'm not broadcasting on YouTube and you have a thought, you want to reach out to me, you can hit me up at Big Frank Red on Twitter, or you can go to Frank Red Sports at Instagram. By the way, I'm still getting used to using some of these tools, so don't laugh at me too much. But we will be using these tools, and I will be communicating There's nothing more interesting to me than to engage with the listeners. It's about the listeners. It's not about me. It's not about necessarily the people that we cover. It's really about the listeners. For you to take your own personal time, be it the live viewing or just checking this program out when you have an opportunity, it is much appreciated. I'm gonna get out of here, but before I do, I got something to say to you guys. All right, here we go. Success of getting paid is a manifestation of the whole process. If you as an individual don't do things to help other people make their lives better, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't done nothing. I am Frank Red. This is in the Dungeon Program. Once again, hit me up on Twitter at Big Frank Red. All right, peace.